everybody. My name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, and coaches to build a business on your terms. And of course, we are coming live to you from her house and my house because of the way that the world is just at this moment in time. But that doesn't stop us doing the live training for you every Tuesday. Come hell or high water, that is what we intend to do. So here we are doing it in this way. Today, we're going to be talking all about whether you need a website and the things around that. So we know that quite a few people in our Connection Hub, which is the group that we run, Kelly, I'm sure is doing links. So that
I'm sharing the links out at the moment. I'm not on my phone, like texting people.
You wouldn't know either way, but she really is paying attention and she's sharing out this everywhere. So I'm just going to, sort of talk to you a little bit about this. But inside the Connection Hub, certainly one of the conversations that's been going on a little bit recently with everybody kind of doing the behind the scenes and looking at how am I showing up? Where am I showing up? What do I need? How do I get to market quickly because I've pivoted, etc. We thought it would be quite useful to just look at what a website would do for you, what the alternatives are, and what you might choose to do. So before we do that, because I'm sure that there are several people who are absolutely saying hello, etc., we're going to do the buzz in our business. So what's interesting, exciting? What are you learning? What are you putting on that is actually going on for you in your world? We want to know, so pop that in the comments and we'll find out. In the meanwhile, we'll say this: we've been exceedingly busy, haven't we?
We're always busy, but we've been exceedingly busy.
Exactly. And that's really making, again, we've been listening a lot to what's required and desired and what are the skills that we have, which is the question you should also be asking yourself. What are the skills that you have that people need right now?
Your microphone's catching on your scarf, so every time you move, we get a feed. So maybe take your scarf off or move.
That feels a bit weird. Hang on a minute.
Oh, I'm naked.
Hang on a minute. I'll do my little Madonna. How about that?
And while you're doing that, Kieran's saying it's been a long time since he joined Alive, took some time out to take stock and look at the business. I think a lot of people are doing that at the moment, Kieran, but good to have you back.
And we really appreciate that, sort of because it really is all about how can you serve people in the best way possible. So there we go. I'm just checking out the comments and I can see them too right now. So not only have we finished the course that we are making, so we're quite excited about that. We're now at the next phase, which is that whole, okay, what are we going to do to get it out there piece and planning the launch. Exactly. So you'll hear a little bit more about that for you very shortly. So we've got how to deliver digitally is the course, and we are excited to share it with you. So that's the buzz in our business. It's really been preoccupying us quite a lot because we've learned a lot about how we normally do things together and how when there are two of you and you're a double act and you need to do it across two houses, that poses different things, and we've done some learning, haven't we, hun?
But I think it's also, and we'll share this a little bit about in the Connection Hub this week, but we've created an online course in 2 weeks, right? Start to finish, research, production, upload, editing, and now we're at the beta stage and we'll be ready to go this week. So, in that respect, that should inspire any of you who are thinking of pivoting. I don't know, Andrea's on at the moment and she's doing this, but looking at how you can potentially deliver digitally. This is something, yes, we've done this for many years, so we do know the back ends and we are quite used to systems and we know how to film and all those types of things. But some of the research we've done is averagely it will take about 3.5 weeks for someone to put a short online course together. So if you're interested, we're still looking for beta testers. Hi, Tim.
Tim.
And put yes in the comments of this live and we can send you some information which we're sending out this week to people who want to beta test the program of how you can actually start delivering digitally.
Which is really good. So, but back to
Andrea's out, or shall I?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you go for it. You go for it.
She's saying the buzz in her business, bookings this morning for 5 online pieces. We shall eat again.
But and that is such a great celebrations, sort of we really do encourage you to take what you have and turn it into something that people need right now, because your expertise doesn't stop just because the circumstances have stopped. What you need is just a different way to deliver that in a way that's needed. So she's saying yes, 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 yes. So it's all good. Now, let's talk a little bit about, now that you're here with us, let's talk a little bit about today's. Do you need a website or not? I'm sure this is going to be controversial, so feel free to share your comments and kind of.
There's already discussion going on in the hub. I know Becca put a post up in the hub, I think over the weekend, about does she need a website? And so there's already lots of comments around it, which was what inspired us to do this live.
Yeah. So I mean, if you think about it, there are so many social platforms that you might be on that let you share who you are, what you do, and really show up with passion, whether it's through video, whether it's through longer posts, shorter posts, but you are able to show up in all sorts of places that allow people to get to know you and connect with you in a much wider way than people who might actually be, just looking for you on a website. So what we really want to look at is, do you need a specified website that is just for you, not just for fun, just for you and your prospects in this way? So we're going to be talking through that, and we're going to explore how you show up and where you show up for your avatar, your ideal client. There it is. That's only taken us 8 minutes today, which is quite exciting. There's that word. It's so important because it is still about you attracting the right attention and looking at how you show up in that way. But we're also going to really consider how your business can benefit from being part of something like the Connection Hub, a wider group, a network of some kind that is related to your industry and certainly where your avatar hangs out. So and the alternative to that, and we're going to talk through a couple of these and make some suggestions for you as well, because as speakers, authors, and coaches, there are actually several platforms out there that you can use that are specifically geared to actually helping you manage your business and again show up in some way. That may mean that you don't at this moment in time require a website, or indeed if you do already have one, you might go, hang on a minute, I'm missing out by not being on one of those, right? So we want to put some options in front of you. And as always, what we are here to do is help you as a speaker, author, or coach to make the decisions that allow you to run your business on your terms. And so the big thing around that is, do you need the personal website? Is it a calling card? Is it the calling card that you want it to be? Have you got it set out in that way, or could something else be that for you? Now, the first thing most people do, like if you're watching us for the very first time and you haven't met us, Helena, Kelly, Speaker Insight, but the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and likely Google them. It's pretty much kind of the next action that somebody takes. If they're interested in what you say, if they like the way that you're saying it, they like the style of it, they're going to go and have a look at you. Now, unless you've got your SEO nailed in some way, the chances are that the social profiles on which you are likely to show up before your website. So that becomes quite an interesting thing, because most of us are conditioned to pressing the first 2 or 3 buttons, and that's pretty much where we go. And your website might be further down from that. So it's more likely that they're going to use their social media platform of choice, the place that they like to hang out, to go and have a look at how you show up on that. And your job here, and we say this all the time, your job here is to be consistent across all the platforms on which you are showing up, because otherwise that's going to be confusing and they're going to let go of you immediately anyway. So one of those things is to ensure, even as one kind of action from here, is to just go and check, are you actually showing up in the same way across all of those things? But here's the big thing. We're talking about the vehicle of the website or other platforms, but the bigger piece around this and the on your terms bit of this is actually what do you want your business to be doing? What impact do you want to make? And what capacity have you got? So have you set your business model up in such a way that you are doing lots of little sales, for example, of digital online courses? Or have you got it set up so that you are doing longer consultative interactions? Or maybe you are a speaker who is currently pivoting in all sorts of ways in order to do the delivery. So your job is to know your business inside and out and know what the products are in your product range that allow you to understand how you should show up and where you need to be found. and in what way. So that's going to be one of the big considerations. It might actually be, so today, it might actually be that if you're wearing just an author hat, there's going to be a slight difference around, do I have a website for me? Or don't I want to be seen out in the world? Or do I have a website for my book, for example? But for the speakers and coaches, do I show up on my own website, or do I utilize the market spaces that are out there, and actively put myself out on those directories that are available, using the platforms that I can run my business through? So that's what we're really going to sort of take a look at. You have to know what you're delivering and how much of that you're doing in order to begin to understand how you want to show up in front of people. So we're going to get detailed now. That was kind of the overview. Let's go into the detail of this.
I can't butt into you when you're talking like that because you're not sitting next to me. So I feel like
I know. It's like you feel like you have to ask permission. I had that last week with you as well. I was like, oh, I'm just going to...
Anyway, we're still here.
All good.
So I think where Helena and I come from is that the ideal scenario, whether you're a speaker, author, or coach, is definitely to have a website, okay? Because as Helena was referring to, we find that people use that website as that reference tool. A bit like when people book holidays, you might be on a discount holiday. It's really a bad subject to pick, isn't it? Because everyone's desperate.
I was just going to say, you're pretty long. I am going to butt in on this one. I'm like, something else.
Let's all just carry on dreaming, right? So you're booking your ideal holiday. You found it on some sort of website. It's got a discount offer. And then what you go and do is you don't book directly on the discount offer. You go and then check out the hotel's official website to go and see, are the pictures a bit imposed and, made it look nice? And what are the actual reviews that aren't third-party reviews, blah, 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 blah. And then you basically go, okay, so that is what it looks like. And then you go back and you book via TripAdvisor or whatever it might be. So it's good to have that reference site so that people can actually go, are they a one-shot pony where they've just got one book? Or, how long have they been in the industry? Let me find a little bit more about their credentials. And that's one of the things that we suggest, because a website gives your audience a one-stop shop, right? So rather than having everything where they have to go and find the work and, what are their social media platforms? What are their testimonials? What are their products? Where, how long have they been a speaker? You can house this information in one stop. So for those of you who have already got a website, we want to make sure that you've covered these elements that are the great things to have on your website. You want to have, as I just said, those social media, those social evidence proof. So have you got the logos of the clients that you've worked with? Have you got as featured in with the articles and the PR exposure that you've got? So this shows the brands that you've worked with, the borrow credibility. It also houses your bio, so people can actually, I know Katrina's working on her bio at the moment, and it's got how long have I been in the industry? What's my background? All these types of things. But also testimonials from clients to prove that you actually do what you say you're going to do, and from credible people that they can trust that actually you're not just saying this, you've got proof. So there's this whole, the website is a great place to direct people to for proof. Second thing, which is what often doesn't happen if you're relying on social media sites, is your website allows you to data capture.
Yay!
We encourage you, at least on your homepage, to be offering something of value so that you're getting those people's, just their first name and email addresses. So they're coming into your system, and then you own that data, obviously GDPR approved, and you get the opportunity to then nurture them via emails and build more of a relationship up with them, rather than people just come into your website and bouncing off, and you never know that they came there and you never have that opportunity to nurture a relationship. So if you go to ours, for example, on speakerinsight.com, you'll see that on our homepage, we have our quiz that people love to discover what stage of the speaker, author, coach business they're at. And we add lots of value to help you take you to the next level. But that's something that we offer as an opt-in. So have you got data capture on your site? So you're actually understanding your flow of traffic, who's coming to your site, and the ability to nurture them. The other thing it allows you to do is have a whole list of all your products and services. So rather than just have that one book, you might have written a series of books, or you might be what we call the blend of a portfolio business, where you're a speaker, author, and a coach, and you can house all of those products on one site. So the website allows you to actually have the payment integration so that you can make direct sales from one place. We want to make sure that you link back to all of your social media sites. So you have your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitter handles, because, you know, when you get much larger as your brand, there will be people that might take similar names to you or similar brand names or have similar, you know, positioning, especially if you're going under your specific name as a speaker and somebody else has called that. You want to make sure you direct them to your profile on LinkedIn or whatever it is, so that they know that that's your official one. But tell them why they do that. What is it that you offer on those sites? Like every Tuesday here at 1 o'clock, we do trainings. So that's what we do here that we don't do anywhere else on our platforms.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, it's that place to house and promote your content. So we have our Facebook Lives all on ours, our blogs. You can house your podcast on your site. So these are all things to make sure that your website isn't static. There's constant contact on there, and people can integrate and learn information. So these are just a few of the things that some people don't always have these things kicked off, but a website allows you to house all of those bits of information. And if you're potentially sitting here looking at going, yeah, I've got a bit of website shame going on, I'm not really proud of what it looks like, I've updated my brand and nothing else matches yet, or you're actually thinking, I'm at the right place, I have this collateral and I want to build a website now, then years ago we teamed up with SMA Digital to basically create templates for speaker, author and coach specific websites. We know what needs to be in there and how to lay it out so that they convert. So they've actually developed their website templates and made it really easy for you to basically build your own for around 500 quid. So it's not even going to cost a lot of money. And I will put, when Helena starts speaking, or I can do it in a minute, I can put the link in there so you can check all of that out into the Facebook Live now, actually.
Tim is actually just saying he's glad we're saying that you do need a website, because he doesn't have to disagree, which I thought was quite funny.
Well, he would disagree, wouldn't he?
Exactly. It's like, oh my gosh, that's how it works.
And this is the question that came up in the hub from Becky, right? Is that she's brand new, right? She hasn't even qualified in coaching yet. So she's going, do I need a website yet? And that's what inspired us to do this live. Because some of you might be going, I haven't got that collateral, those things that you were just talking about to go on the website. I haven't developed a logo or a brand yet, or I just don't have the cash to create that website yet, even if it is just 500 quid. I need to get some money coming in before I can invest on that. And that's why our ideal scenario is, yes, create the website. But if you're in that stage that I've just described, there are some ways to get started. And then you can revert back to doing the ideal website scenario afterwards. So, go.
Kat's just saying, Steve is awesome. Have already started working with him.
See, all of our clients love him. So what we're saying here is there are some dedicated platforms that we want to raise your awareness of. So even if you have got a website, these can add as additional exposure to other platforms and databases, etc. But they can act as an alternative when you're getting ready to start getting your name out there.
And the bit I am going to say, it is possible. Look, we can do it. I reckon we can. So, oh my word. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go back to what I was just going to say, because I was going off in a million directions just then. But we can, it is more than possible for you. When you are just starting out, you are going to be finding your feet. You are going to be shifting and changing with every conversation. Every coaching kind of conversation that you have, you begin to niche a little bit more, you begin to show up a little bit more. And actually, some of the things that Kelly's about to suggest to you may allow you the flexibility of how you show up, so that over time, when you get to the point where you can put, as I say, your green flag in the sand, then you build a website that absolutely reflects all of that learning that you've been doing with the different prospects as you start to hone what you're actually up to. One of the things that Kelly and I work a lot with our direct clients with, and certainly in the membership, is to help you build the framework that you're actually working with. So you may not be ready quite yet for a fully fledged website.
I know that Morag's asking what the best starting point is then. So let me go through these things, Morag, and if you've still got a question around that, then let us know.
Yeah.
So if you're these are the types of platforms that allow you to piggyback not only on the way that it's set up, because they've done the build so you can add your profile to it, but most of these have also got traffic. So they've got people who are actually either wanting to book you as a speaker, buy your books, or are looking for coaches, so that you can actually piggyback on the traffic that's on there, as well as not having to do the whole tech and build of some sort of software for a platform. So the first one is, and I'm going to put this in the comments as I go along. The first one is for speakers. Now, there's 2 links in that post there. One is because we did an interview, I think it must have been over a year ago now, with Johnny from SpeakersBase. Now, SpeakersBase is one of the platforms that speakers can upload their profiles to basically where bookers are looking to book you as a speaker. So on here, you can have your profile, your show reel, you can have links back to your social media. You can even put your blogs and articles up there so people can understand a little bit more about your style and your content. And that obviously helps get you found as well. You put your speaker prices in, your industry, your category, so that it's really easy for people to search for you, to look for speakers to book you. And when you're out there and you haven't built a speaker's website yet, you can just put your specific SpeakersBase profile on the bottom of your email signature or as a direct link to send people to go and book you. So this is before you even built your own speakers database. Website. You can piggyback and be on that. So there are lots of people out there that have e-speakers and all these types of speakers directories, some more successful than other. And we know that because we've worked with Johnny, and Johnny allows you to also put up online courses that you've created. So we like SpeakersBase because it fits our portfolio business that we really try and push for you guys to be a speaker, author, and coach, and all 3 in one. So you can have a lot of content on that site there.
And I was just going to say this, one of the things that's going to do, especially if you are a bit like Becca or Morag by the sounds of things, actually just the discipline of going on to somewhere like that makes you write a bio, makes you write a blurb about yourself that actively commits you to being seen and known out there for whatever it is you're seen and known for right here, right now. And that's going to really help you even in the devising of your website, which will come later.
Yeah, definitely. So there are places out there, and obviously I own a speaker agency. So the people that we have as our speakers, they have their own profile page with their media downloads and their show reels and their prices and all of that on there. So if you're at the stage where you're a professional speaker, obviously you can go to agencies to get them to manage you too, and then you'll have a page as such on their website that you can direct gigs to. So the speaker bases and e-speakers are more like directories that people look for, event bookers look for, rather than agencies are different because they manage you as a speaker. So there are 2 things for a speaker. I'm just trying to get my link to work for the other one. But the next one is for coaches. Now we did a bespoke live. Oh God,
it was like a little impromptu about.
It's just more about when it was, right? Because
Thursday. It was a Thursday. It was a tea day, and it wasn't a Tuesday.
So we did this where we were talking to Sam from Delenta, and I don't know why my copy link, this link here, let me just make sure that it works for you, paste, yes. So this link here will send you to Delenta's website. Now Delenta is again a new platform that we are partnering with, and this is basically a dream for coaches because it's a one-stop shop to allow people to invoice, to have your calendar, to have all the notes from your coaching sessions, to have your profile, to basically do your Zoom meetings and recordings from. It literally is a host of everything as a coach, right?
And you can even task your people. So you can literally set the tasks in there and see when they do them. It's brilliant.
So what we've got there is that link allows you to do that. But the beauty of Delenta is they are actually going to then match people. So the coaches have a profile on there, and depending on what area you're coaching and what geographical area you're based in and what price your coaching sessions are at, they will have people looking for coaching to come into the website, and then the website will match you to that link. So not only is it a way for you to manage your coaching business from payments and admin and project management and diary and all that type of stuff, it also helps you have a presence, a one-page profile as a coach, and they will help match you to people who are looking to coaching. So
that's called marketing. That's called like marketing that happens in your absence. How delicious is that?
So that's one of the things for coaching. Again, there are lots of places out there as well. I think we've got a link coming up for, yes, they've got another one here. I might put that in now. So this one that I'm putting in is also another one, a coaching website that you can be put on. No, that's not coming up. I'll put it on in a minute. It's called the Trusted Coach Directory.
Yeah.
So this is, again, another website that you can, if you're a qualified coach in whatever area it is, you can upload there to have a presence. It's like having a web presence until you've got your website created.
And it's having a web presence where people are looking for you. So back to what I was saying right at the very beginning, people are going to go and Google you, or they're going to think about their problem and go, what sort of person can solve this? What do I need? I need a coach. I might go onto that type of directory, etc. So there's something here, and I'll say more about this in a minute, but there is something here about you making sure that you're hanging out and having profiles on places where people might look for you.
Yeah. So that's the speakers. There's some more information. I've just put that Trusted Coach directory down there for the coaches, as well as the Delenta one. God, that's quite hard to say. And then authors, right? I mean, basically, if you're not on Amazon as an author, then you're missing out on the majority of your market. Amazon is normally the first place people go. If they want a book, Audible or Amazon, depending on their learning style, they'll go there and they'll look for the book title, or they'll look for the categories. But you can have an author page set up on there so people can actually see the presence of you as an author on Amazon. But I don't think I need to put the Amazon link in the comments.
No, I suspect people might actually be able to do that. But what's really interesting, and certainly it's interesting from you if you are an author, is to look at how other authors have set up their profiles, because of course you can be followed. So when you have got your new book out and you are putting out new stuff, people will be notified. So there's all sorts of invitations even in that you can make. So wherever you're doing this, make the most of your profile. And that's really what I'm going to talk a little bit more about. What have you got?
Katrina saying, couldn't have timed my profile building better.
Hey, yes, we're doing this just for you and the hundreds of others that are watching, Kat. It's all good.
Which just is have really a think good. Of those three things. Those three things those areas and those sites, and there are lots more. We only ever talk about people that we've had direct experience with, so we know that they're trusted, and we basically give them the green tick. But these are places you can go and have a profile on until you're ready to build your own website, to direct traffic and people to, and for people to see you with their own traffic. But also they're complementary. If you've already got a website, then get on these platforms too. Because it increases your exposure.
So Kieran is just asking a question around that, which is, what about if you're working towards accreditation? As I know, some directories do only take you on if you are accredited.
Yeah. So that's, again, both. So the you've also got I don't know if I mentioned, no, that's
well, so I'm about to, but go ahead.
So there are places you can put your links on if you're not accredited.
Kelly, apparently Tim's not seeing those links in the comments.
Can you see
the ones that you just did? Apparently, hang on 2 seconds. Let me just, I thought I just saw them come up, Tim, so I'm just gonna, you might hear me.
You might have to scroll up, Tim, but I can see them in mine. But that doesn't mean tech is always going a bit funny with me at the moment, and I am doing this on my phone.
So Tim, I can see the trusted coach directory. Did you put anything in after that, babe?
Not after, but there's Delenta.
Okay, so Delenta and
Tamar can't see them either. That's really strange. Okay, guys.
And Kat can see them.
Okay, really weird. I will go and add them all into the bottom after I come off this on my phone. But
this is so bizarre. I think Facebook is having a little bit of a play. We did actually have to do a little switcheroo around kind of how we normally do things. So I think Facebook might be having a little play with some of us. They're A/B testing. Half of you are able to see things, and half of you are not. How exciting!
You carry on. I'll see if I can do a whole link of all of them together.
Right. So these ones are some of the write it downers. I want you to really start thinking about the answers to this question. So, I'm all about what's your intention behind a website or a profile and everything else. So what I really want to support you in knowing or understanding is where is your avatar going to find you? i.e., where are they literally going, looking? Not where are they going to find you, more where are they literally going? What links are they clicking on? What pages are they going to? What social networks are they going to? What are they looking for? What are they Googling that allows them to find you? So for some of you may well be, good for you, a well-known enough name that they're going to look for you by name. For most of us, that's likely not true. So they're going to look in a general ballpark. So I want you to really start thinking about, if I was my avatar with this type of problem, what would I be Googling? What would I be looking for? Where would I be going? Are there industry standard things? Do I go to the CIPD website because that's what I've heard of in order to get some team building people? If your avatar knew nothing other than the problem that they've got, where would they go? And I want you to really think about that, because if the first thought that comes in for you is XYZ directory, or a specific set of things, or the Chartered Institute of Marketing, or wherever the industry body is, you want to make sure that you go to those places and think about, what do they have available that I could avail myself of? Do they have a profile building place? Do they have somewhere that it links through to? Could I put my profile on there? Where can I show up that my people are looking? So I really want you to be thinking about that. So as Kelly just mentioned, our directory, which is showing up for me, by the way.
I'll put our directory in now as well. So people might not know this, but in the Connection Hub, we have a directory for speakers, authors, and coaches, and all the people that support them. So website designers, publishers, agents, VAs. And what we encourage all of you to do, if you're not listed on there, guys, it's completely free.
Yeah.
Get yourself listed on there now, but also use it to find people that you're looking for.
And so one of the main reasons that we set up just over 2 years ago now, 2 and a bit years ago, we set up the Connection Hub, because we wanted to be able to have a space where one of our highest values is connection and connecting people to brilliant people. And we know that speakers, authors, and coaches kind of sometimes have some, shall we say, little blocks around the technical stuff and around the, the photographs that we need, etc. So we thought, well, how do we connect speakers, authors, and coaches with all the suppliers that they actively need and require? So the directory, then it started very rudimentary, and it's now a beautiful directory that you can search for what you're looking for in there. And we started it so that you can all get listed. So please go on there. So in answer to Kieran's question earlier, there is nothing to prevent you from actually putting your profile up there and being open and honest and saying, I am working towards accreditation, for example, because, that's open and honest in that way. That's what we expect of you. So there are definitely places where you can do that. And Kelly's, well, I can see it. Half of you won't be in the A/B split test.
Andrea's saying she can see it. So
okay, good. Well, that's interesting. The other thing, and Kelly's already put the Trusted Coach directory out, but it might also be that there is an overarching label for what you do. So for example, counselors, there is, it's certainly in the UK, and I'm sure this is true for whatever continent you're on, there will be a national directory of some kind that has approved counselors, for example, coaching listings in some way. And as Kelly was saying earlier on about for the speakers, the agencies, etc. So have a think about, what is the industry I'm in, and is there an industry standard that actually goes in there? Tim's refreshed the page, so you can do the links. Hurrah, which is good. But also, just I mentioned it before, things like the CIM, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, where else can you be found is basically what we're saying here. Where would they go that allows you to be seen? That's really the question here. And then the other place is that it might actually be that you have, for example, an app, or you are using your podcast or membership to be the place that actually and actively speaks for you and on behalf of you. So Entrepreneur on Fire, yes, there's a website, but really you go to the podcast page, you go directly there. And that's that. If you haven't done that, by the way, it's a little injection of fun and information that is well worth it as you are taking a stomp through the woods or through the city, depending on where you are. But the whole point here is that some people build a community and focus all of their efforts on that community, and those pages actively become the website, in effect, or the place where people go to find you. Gretchen Rubin, who's written a whole bunch of books around happiness and the happiness factor, the 4 tendencies. By the way, the 4 tendencies is a really great way for you to understand where you're practically focused around how you do the work that you do. If you just look that up, you'll also see what I mean by the website. A lot of it is centered around the Mighty Networks community that she's actively got. So the key things that she's using, yes, there is a website, but the key thing that's driving most of the traffic, from what we can see, is actually the app and the Mighty Networks community and her email list, which literally one sends itself to the other.
And so for people that don't know, Mighty Networks is a platform so that you can host online courses, you can host memberships, and you can host communities on. So those people who go, my people aren't on Facebook, I don't want to set up a Facebook group, but LinkedIn groups are pretty rubbish, what do I do? Well, you can use Mighty Networks to actually direct them onto a different platform, and actually you own that data as well. So she's done that.
So yeah, like I say, the core question here is, am I showing up in the places where they're looking for me?
And did you want to talk about the Thinkers 360?
Yeah. Yes, I absolutely will. So Kelly kind of mentioned these as directories themselves. Thinkers 360 allows you to put your profile up there. What I find really interesting about this is that you have no doubt, as a speaker, author, coach, you have no doubt got oodles of content that you want to be able to put in there. It's another speaker listings place that works directly with Twitter and LinkedIn as well. So there are some things that can actually get broadcast from there. But you can list your articles, so your cornerstone articles, your keynotes, the titles of your keynotes, all sorts of things, collateral content that you've got. And here's the really key thing: you can even use something like Buffer, a scheduling tool, to take from that, actively take from those, and publish it through to the various social networks that you're on. But Thinkers 360 allow you to build a profile for free that allows you to add in all the collateral that you've actually put out there. So again, for those of you that haven't got a website, that might be a really good option for you.
Yeah. So I've put the Thinkers 360 in the comments as well. I know we've got a comment saying they can't see the links. So I will definitely share them after the call. But again, if it's like Tim, if you just refresh your page, it looks like the links will appear.
we promise we do. We won't say anything exciting and wonderful if you refresh now. We'll just do filler right now for the next 20 seconds.
Yeah, as you hand over to me. Nice. Thanks very much.
Well, that's my point. It's as we're handing over. So that's all filler. Go for the content, girl.
So we've done the whole, yes, the ideal scenario is to have a website. And if you've got a website, what to put on it. And if you want ready to build a website, how you can get that built pretty quickly. The second thing is then, how do you then either add to that exposure, or if you're too early on to build a website, where can you start getting presence and traction from using external platforms that promote the work for you, that give you a presence, or at least direct traffic to you so that you can benefit from that. The third thing is the last option that we're going to talk to you about, which is actually for you to use software that creates more like one-page websites really simply, without any code, without any build, and without a lot of money. And so what we're talking about there are software, like, for example, we use leadpages.net, but there are so many things out there, whether it's ClickFunnels or Squeeze Page Toolkit or all of these types of one-page website creation sites. And what they allow you to do is to have ready-made one-page websites that you can change the format, drag and drop, maybe have it templated for a book launch page, a webinar page, an event page, a promotional lead generation magnet page. So you can choose what this one-page layout would look like and what the purpose is it for, but they've done the design work for you. You literally change the colors, drag and drop the images and put the copy in, and it's basically ready to go. So this is a really simple format for you. Am I okay? You're laughing?
Yeah, no. I'm on behalf of half of the people who are listening. I'm just breathing a sigh of relief because people are like probably going, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. And so I can't even think about how, I think our lead pages is about £49 a month or something like that.
It's about that.
You can create as many pages as you want. Now, the beauty with having something like this is that one page website, lead page, opt-in, landing page, squeeze page, they're all called these same things, right? Which are just one page website.
They all do the same thing.
They allow you to have payment gateways embedded into them. So your Stripe, your WorldPay, your PayPal, so people can make instant purchases straight from that one page website. They also allow for your CRM system, your customer relationship management system, which might be MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, any of these CRMs to integrate into that software. So say, for example, you're giving away a quiz or a download as a lead magnet. You can take that person's email and first name, and they go into your CRM system, so you can basically nurture them through future emails and build a relationship up with trust. You can also embed appointment scheduling software to these one-page sites. So say, for example, you're a coach and you actually wanted to give somebody a place to book coaching sessions with you, or even discovery calls. And we've done Facebook Lives on this in the past, so go and check it out. But we use things like Acuity Scheduler to basically allow you to see when your diary availability is, click on that, book and pay, and get the questionnaire that they need to fill in before they have that coaching session with you.
And I want to say this, you know, sort of like, so I recently, because one of my clients was being a little bit like, around all of this, we literally set up the mini version, the kind of Chinese menu of all of her services on Acuity the other day, so that in a very practical way, she just needs to send them there. It's a quick and dirty way of doing it, but if she's already made the connection with people, so she's had the messenger conversation, she's been on Facebook and they've developed a relationship, all she needs is somewhere where she can send them to say, which of the options do you require? And within that system, it takes the payment for her. So we're saying this to help you understand that you don't have to be stuck, and it doesn't have to be all flashy bells and lightning.
It costs a lot, right? This is the other
That's
thing.
right.
And you don't have to have tech genius to be able to do this.
That's right.
And the fourth thing when you're using these opt-in squeeze pages, landing pages, that you can do is that if you have got something you want to direct them to a product. So say, for example, you've just done a book and you just want to do a book launch. You can have all the nice copy around what that book's about, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a button to send them to the Amazon page. Or you've just created your online course and you have an opt-in page which you design beautifully. And then the button is, it takes them to Thinkific, where they go and buy your course. So it's just this way of actually directing traffic. You get a specific URL which you can send people to, and then it can either be used to take payment directly, to book appointments using your appointment scheduler, to integrate and get their lead generations from your download into your CRM, or take them to the page where the product's hosted so they can buy straight away. And this at that time bypasses the need for a website, because you're having an online presence, you're giving them some call to action to do, and you're getting some income and some money coming in, and you're testing what language works. So when you do go to build your website, you've got ready-made copy, you've got some information there to go on, and you've got some proof to put on the website when you go and build it.
Phew. Oh, my word. We've got them working today is all I can say. So I'm going to do the thing that I love to do, which is summarize for you what action you can take so that we actually get you doing something with this. So the key thing here for those of you, and I don't think I said this, and so apologies right at the beginning. I don't think I said hashtag replay, but if you have got to the end of this and you're not watching it live, then pop it in here and ask us any of the questions that you actively want to know. Hopefully you've got all the information that you need, but I want to really reiterate for you, please, 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 the very first thing, whether you're choosing just to go via social networks and doing some of the stuff that Kelly just said, whether you're going via the website route and you're setting that up for yourself, whatever you are doing, you have to have consistency in the bio or in the profile that you're showing up in. So if you haven't, here's a test for all of you. When was the last time you looked at how you show up across all of the social networks? Come on, own up, fess up, let's see. And if we went there right now, would we read the same thing? Would we get a good sense of who you are? So consistency.
And are your pictures up to date, right? This is one for Andrea. What color hair have you got this week, right? Because if I'm looking at you and I'm booking you as a speaker and you look 15 years younger than what you actually are, there's the inconsistency, right? Or your bio's so out of date and it's talking about things in 2009 that you've won, right? This is where this downtime is not that it's downtime for a lot of people.
It's so not downtime.
It's a different time.
It's
a great time for you to do a sense check on how you're showing up there across your online platforms. Everything, when was the last time you Googled yourself?
Right.
Just go and Google your name, look and see what comes up, look and see what images come up and go, oh my God, I need to go and change that because I completely forgot my Match.com profile.
Kelly Tyler, is there something you would like to say to us?
I'm happily married, it's fine.
But the whole point here is what I was going to say before she made me laugh was, and when you do that, don't judge it, use it as information and make a list of what needs to be changed. So don't judge it. The pit stop in hell is optional. And I'm always going to say, pop it in the let it go jar. I'm always going to say that, right? So first things first, consistency. So go and take stock of how am I showing up? Where am I showing up? And am I showing up in all the places I could be showing up in? If you need more exposure, ask yourself the question, where can I show up in that way? The second thing is if you have got website shame or you feel it's time to build one, then please do check out Steve and SMA Digital because
he gives all of our community, I think it's like £200 and £250 discount because you just have to mention you come from the Connection Hub or Speaker Insight.
Yeah, exactly.
He is as people are saying on the live, they're already working with him and we've worked with him for years. So we love SMA Digital. They are awesome.
Kat's currently saying, I am unique. That is a double-edged sword, which is really good. And Tamar's saying, this was really great. And now I have lots to think about. I'm going to give you 2 more things to think about. Don't go yet, Tamar. Don't go yet. I like a big to-do list, me. So consistency check for sure. Where are you showing up? Are there extra places that you could go and research that you could show up in? Website shame for sure is another one. So do a double check. Am I showing up in the right way? The consistency check includes your website if you've got one. And if you want to, what are the partner websites that you might want to check out that you need to put links on that are just a no-brainer for you? Because somewhere down the line in 6 to 8 months, suddenly you're going to get a request in and you're going to go, where did that come from? And it'll be from one of these, right?
Especially when things like SpeakersBase, it's free to list yourself, right? So there we're not incurring extra costs here. Let's piggyback off the people that are doing the work for you to increase your exposure.
Yeah, and the final thing is that we're going to let Kat go because she's got a 2 p.m. Zoom. So just for Kat, we're going to end it there, and basically with that long list of things to just use the downtime, as Kelly said, to really do a double check, a cross check across all of your platforms. Are you showing up in the way that you want in the places that you need to be showing up in? So we hope that's been really useful for you, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one.